Kathleen Stockett was born in 1969 in Jackson, Mississippi. She wrote The Help after graduating in literature and creative writing. This was her first book, on which the Stockett worked for 5 years, and that was refused by approximately 60 literary agents, to be then finally accepted and published in 2009. The last chapter reports these words of the author: "I am quite sure I can affirm that no one in my family has ever asked Dimitri how she felt being a black woman at the service of a white family in Mississippi. It was an idea that never brushed against our mind. It was everyday life. We felt we weren't obliged to study thoroughly the matter." Dimitri died when I was 16. I have long regretted that I was too young and distracted to ask her a few questions, and I spent years racking my brains about the answer she would have given me. That's why I wrote this book. The book is narrated by 3 characters: Skeeter, Abilene, and Minnie. The 3 alternate in describing their life, with the difficulties and the prejudices arose by. In fact, Abilene and Minnie are 2 colored housekeepers that worked for 2 white families in Jackson, Mississippi in the 60s. In this period, the USA are shaken by revolts because of racism and discrimination against colored people. It's the period of Martin Luther King's speeches. The Help underlines the less visible aspects of racism that marks out this hard period. The plot is very intricate. The 3 narrators seem not to have anything in common, but their lives intertwine because they start writing a book with the real personal experiences of the colored housekeepers in Jackson. The author makes us aware of the feelings of these women. The main theme taken into consideration in this novel is the racism and the fight for civil rights, but there's another theme as well. Colored women in the 50s and 60s in the USA did not only have the problem of the race, of the color of their skin, but they had the problem of sex too. Being women, and even black in those years, was doubly difficult. The Help makes us take a step back in history. It makes us realize that black women have been constantly exposed during history to oppressions and discriminations of every genre. This was the African women's condition in the USA. Black in a white society, slaves in a free society, women in a man's society.
All right, I'm gonna do it. But I need to make sure she understands this ain't no game we playing here.
Unlike the book, the film is obviously less detailed, and if you look at it with the experience of reading 500 pages, you find it even very banal. Many events have been omitted, even events that are fundamental in order to understand well the plot. For example, in the book, we see continuously how white mothers can't take care of their children, who, on the contrary, prove to be very kind with their black moms.
You is kind, you is smart, you is important, you is smart, you is kind, you is important. Oh, that's so good.
These children make the plot happier, and above all, let us notice how a candid, childish mind, like the one they have, lacks of prejudices. They love who supports and helps them, without worrying about the color of the skin or about any other superficial factor. In the film, many events are also changed. Among these, the most striking is maybe the idea of writing the book. In fact, In the film, Skeeter seems to have the idea herself, while in the original story she takes the cue of Abelin's son, who had manifested this desire before dying. Apart from eliminated and added scenes, what is immediately noticed are the differences among locations and differences in the aspect of characters. Surely cinema has some needs, and without any doubt, the research of actors is very complicated, but having read the book, you always hope for a faithful transposition of it. The book and the film are by and large very similar. The Help remains one of the most beautiful books I've ever read. In it, I knew fantastic characters from whom I learned a lot, and others not so positive, but who taught me something anyway. I suggest everyone to read this book because it celebrates real love, the children one, the one without prejudices, the one which goes over appearance, the one we all should learn.